Hello again. My Sunday didn't start very well today. I set my alarm for 3 a.m. to get up and watch Finland play Russia in the ice hockey, which was scheduled for 4 o'clock. So I got up an hour early to make a breakfast and have a cup of tea, settle down and watch the match. It didn't happen. Apparently there's some sort of contract thing going on between the Olympic Committee and the BBC. It's delayed for 2 hours. And I know a lot of my friends were watching the match in Finland, and I just politely asked them, please don't send me any results. And in the end, I had to turn my phone off because I really wanted to watch that game, and I wasn't disappointed. Wow, that was one of the best hockey matches I've ever seen, ever. And the Finnish team were fantastic. They beat Russia. Just one goal in it, and even their coach, Jukka Jalonen, he actually smiled, and he never smiles. It was really good, and that made my day this morning watching that. And even now I'm pretty tired, so I need to do my rant. And it seems to me that the whole world seems to be part of one great big soap opera right now. From Canada to Russia, to Ukraine, the EU, America. Well, let's give Russia, Europe and the USA a wide berth, because personally I don't think anything is going to happen there. It's just saber rattling by superpowers. And let's not forget that Russia is no longer communist. Make no mistake about that. And they're not a superpower either. And just remember why NATO was formed in the first place. It might give you a clue as to why Russia doesn't want to be surrounded by this organisation. And of course, we're being distracted from what is really going on in the world. The major drama is going on in Canada, but you would never know that by looking at the TV and the mainstream media. And what they do broadcast is vastly one-sided. It's the only word. One-sided. But if you care to look on the internet, it's all over the internet. And we have to rely now on podcasters. And there are some famous names out there. Joe Rogan is one. He has a podcast. And recently he's been greatly criticised for trying to mislead people. And he doesn't do that. He does not do that. He just has people on his show and he interviews them. And they give their opinions. He doesn't have an opinion. He just listens to them to give their opinions. And we have, in this country, we have Russell Brand, who's become a very, very successful podcaster and tells a lot of truth. And with those podcasts, the mainstream media and the press, they, for the want of a better word, they've been castrated. They're useless. And I say again, what the hell is going on? And what happened to proper journalism? I'm not a journalist, but I know the rules. There are 5 W's for journalism: who, what, when, where, and why. Then after that comes truth and integrity. what happened to that. I can tell you what happened to that. And I'll tell you what happened with journalism. Julian Assange happened. That's what happened. Most journalists today are scared to death that if they print the truth, they will put in jail just like Julian Assange. And he should not be there. All he ever did was tell the truth and expose people in high places. And when I say the mainstream media, not all of them. There are a couple of, maybe 3 outlets that go against the agenda. And one of them is Sky News Australia. Make sure it's Sky News Australia and not Britain or America. And GB News here in England. And to some extent a little publication called Unheard. That's UNHERD, Unheard. They're not part of the herd, but in actual fact, they're a little bit woke. I'm not that keen on them. But they do offer an alternative news. Now, as far as I can see, and as far as a lot of other people can see, Canada is getting closer and closer to being a totalitarian regime. Now that Trudeau has shown his true colours and implemented martial law. Can you believe that? Can you believe that what that is? That's a really big one, and it does take some believing. Martial law in peacetime is actually quite rare, especially when you consider why it's being implemented now against peaceful demonstrations by working class people. These liberals, they do not like working class people, that's for sure. And what are they doing? They're freezing bank accounts and arresting truckers for just exercising their rights. It's shameful. And now it's rumoured that the police and the army they're knocking on the windows of the drivers' windows, and when they don't answer, they're smashing the windows. And they're warned if they're arrested and they have pets, the pets will be terminated. Can you believe what is going on? Does it not scare you? Now, a few days ago, just before they closed down Parliament, there was a heck of an argument. And Trudeau was asked to apologise for calling the opposition Nazis. Now, bear in mind that a lot of Canadians' grandparents fled to Canada during the 1930s because of Nazism. He was specifically asked to apologise and say sorry for the remark. But being the person that Trudeau is, he acted like a teenager and walked out in a huff. Utterly astounding behaviour from a Prime Minister, for Christ's sake. And now Trudeau, he's beginning to look like a wax dummy in a sauna. Jesus. And the really worrying thing about what is happening in Canada is the fact that no other government anywhere in the world is saying anything. Absolutely nothing throughout the whole Western world is condemning what is going on there. And in my humble opinion, by doing nothing, they are in fact going along with what's occurring. This is nothing short of fascism. Trust me on that. The question you have to ask yourself is this a collective agenda by governments? And if it is, who's orchestrating it? Ask yourself that question. I've got a message for politicians. Please stop brown-nosing big institutions like banks, big pharma, big tech, and lining your pockets. You know what's going on, politicians especially. You know people are getting rich over this pandemic. And why don't the politicians start listening to the people that voted for them? Like us, the little people. Joe Public. I've got an idea for you politicians. just to let us know whose side you're on. Give you a jacket like they do in Formula One, and you can have the sponsors all over your shirt, like Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, banks, Big Pharma, Big Tech. Let us know who's sponsoring you, and we know who's pulling your strings. You couldn't make this up, could you? Going back to martial law. A military commander has almost no limits on their authority to make and enforce laws. Martial law is the suspension of all existing laws and the ordinary administration of justice. You have no rights at all, including a right to trial or even access your bank account. Just think about that. Having your bank account suspended. You've got no money to buy food, you can't pay your mortgage, you can't pay your insurance, you can't buy petrol. This seems to me like a man is demented and acting like a child. Now, whether you agree or not with the demonstrations going on in Canada and the rest of the world, you should really think about what is going on, and more importantly, why it's happening. Do you really think this is about a bug and mandates and truckers? It's gone far, far beyond that. People have been frightened into doing the most extraordinary things during these past 2 years and accepting the most stringent rules that very, very often contradict one another. You know what I mean. And we have been led to believe the most outrageous predictions from computer models and the worst case scenarios offered to us by quite possibly those people who should know better. Now, computer models can be nudged into anything the programmer or AI desires. And it seems to me that the majority of people have become victims of mass formation psychosis. Yeah, that's a new modern made-up term. It's just a very posh way of saying people have been indoctrinated, or more crudely, brainwashed. Just remember the Manchurian Candidate. Sure, you must remember that. Someone asked me recently why I make these stupid videos. And my answer was this. Well, I don't think they are stupid. And if I did, well, I wouldn't make them, would I? Hello? And they may be a bit contentious, and there may be a lot of my friends and family do not agree. I don't care. I don't give a damn. It's just my opinion, and I feel very strongly about my opinions. And I have a voice at the moment. And there are many, many people like me on YouTube and the internet. And I'll leave a list in the descriptions to this video. And I know that I am only a very, very small voice in a vast sea of misunderstanding and an ocean of blindness towards the truth. And I speak up because I still can. Yeah, it can be a little bit dangerous to speak out in these times, but it's a whole lot more dangerous not to do so. So please, I beg you, thumbs up, thumb down, I don't care. Comment, pass it on, let someone else see this. If I'm making a fool of myself, fine, that's okay. Pass it on, even let people read the list and let them choose some of the people on the list to investigate and see what they've got to say. And this is what mainstream media will not allow. They will not allow public debate on mainstream TV. They won't allow it because they know they're going to get crucified. Because there are a lot of intelligent people out there who actually think. That's me, I'm done. And thank you for listening to my Sunday afternoon rant. Thank you. Bye-bye.